Winona Police Department Community Liaison Officer Eric Mueller joins us. And Eric, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I guess explain a little bit, what does a Community Liaison Officer do?
Community Liaison Officer is essentially a conduit by which the community can access the police department. I can provide answers to a lot of the questions that the community has. I can provide information on almost every level. If I don't know it when you're speaking to me, I can certainly find out and get you to the right person. But my position, most of all, is simply to be a very accessible, readily available individual that the community can contact when they have concerns, complaints, almost anything that has to do with police.
This position hasn't been with the department, I guess, real long. I mean, did it kind of come with the community policing initiative? Isn't that kind of when it started? Or?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it did. I think you're seeing it more and more common now all over the country. People have realized that police departments are not separate from the community. We are part of the community. We are all, we work as police officers, but we live in these communities that the police serve. We are not separate entities from them. And I think when we project an image and try to genuinely partner with various organizations within the community, people in general, and make people feel that they have a voice and that that voice is being listened to, I believe that that creates a better environment for all of us.
Now, as community liaison officer, I know you do a lot of, I'd call them public service. Mm-hmm. Are you still planning on doing some of those things, like bike rodeos and some of those kind of fun things?
Plan on doing a lot of the same things. My predecessor, Kevin Kearney, did an excellent job of establishing a lot of contacts within the community and a lot of traditions, and I plan on keeping a lot of those going. I would also like to initiate some of my own ideas. We come from different avenues in law enforcement. I've been 20 years on the street as a street officer, so I have a little bit different perspective, and I'm going to try to bring that to what I'm doing here as well.
Was it a hard decision for you to decide to want to jump into that role?
Not really. I actually have a background in public relations to begin with. I started out in public relations. I have a degree from Winona State University, a lot farther back than I care to admit, in public relations. So it was really a very natural transition for me. I've always understood the value of combining the two. I don't view policing and public relations as mutually exclusive. I really believe that they mesh very well together. After all, officers are out in the public. You are doing community relations whether you admit it or not, and whether it's formal, official or not. So to me, it's the same thing. It's just now it's a little bit more of a formal type of a thing, but I really enjoy it. After 20 years on the street, you really kind of see a lot of things and you do a lot of things, and as we get a little bit older, we find that it's a little bit of a younger man's game sometimes playing the street officer. So I'm ready to move into something that's a little less on the street and a little more behind the scenes.
So in your short time as a community liaison officer, what do you enjoy most about that particular part of the job? Probably the most enjoyable thing is I'm meeting a lot of the business people that I've always seen growing up as a Winona native, and I'm seeing a different aspect of it. A lot of times, when, as a street officer, and this is the same with all street officers, I don't really care where you're a police officer at, but you don't see the good people that you serve. And really, 99% of the people out there are law-abiding, honest, hardworking citizens who are trying to make it through life the best way they can, the same as you and I. And we don't get to see those. We get to see the people who are causing problems. We get to see the people who are constantly drunk or on drugs or fighting. And after a while, it kind of wears you down a little bit. And it's really just refreshing to see a lot of the real positive vibes coming instead of dealing with always the negative vibes. Yeah. We're just about out of time, but Eric, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us a little bit about your role in the Winona Police Department, and we look forward to seeing more of you out on the streets, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Obviously, if anybody has any concerns, just give me a call. Be happy to help.